I never imagined my life would shrink to this, a faint pulse in the sticky heat of New Orleans, where the air wraps around you like a fever dream and the past claws at your heels. At 39, I thought I'd be somewhere else, maybe not happy, but free. Instead, I'm slinging drinks behind a bar in the French Quarter, my nights bleeding into dawn, my days haunted by letters from a man I'd rather forget. Silas, my ex-husband, was a jazz drummer with a mean streak and a grip that left bruises, physical and otherwise. He's gone, kicked out years ago, but his words still haunt me, scrawled in jagged ink, promising he's never far. The bar's my prison, the clink of glasses my chains. But there's one thing keeping me from breaking: Theo, my son. He's not my blood, but he's my everything. I took him in when he was 10, a wiry kid with gray-green eyes and a gift for the piano that could hush a room. Now, at 20, he's my compass, my shadow, the one who sees the woman I've almost forgotten. Theo's a jazz pianist, his fingers coaxing stories from keys in dive bars and backrooms. Where Silas was a storm, Theo's a current, steady, deep, pulling me back when I drift too far. We've forged something over the years, a bond that's more than mother and son, a language of glances and silences that holds me together. But I'm slipping. The letters from Silas pile up in my drawer, each one sharper, more unhinged. I'm working doubles, barely eating, flinching at shadows. Theo sees it all. Tonight, I'm scrubbing the bar counter, the jukebox crooning a tired blues riff, when he slips onto a stool, his leather jacket glistening with rain. "You look like you're fading, Cora," he says, his voice low, cutting through the noise. I force a grin, tossing the rag down. "Charming as ever, kid." He doesn't smile. "You're not sleeping. You're not eating. You're not you. What's going on?" I dodge his gaze, wiping an already clean glass. "Life, Theo. It's heavy." He leans forward, his hand grazing mine, warm and deliberate. "Not heavy enough to bury you. Not if I'm here." His words crack something open, a longing I've tried to lock away. I want to spill it all. How Silas's threats make my skin crawl, how this city feels like it's swallowing me, how Theo's the only thing keeping my heart beating. But I can't. Instead, I slide him a soda and mutter, "I'm fine. Go play your gig." He doesn't move, his fingers lingering on mine, sending a spark up my arm. "Meet me after your shift," he says, his voice a quiet command. "I've got something to show you." I raise an eyebrow, wary. "What kind of something?" His grin is half mischief, half promise. "The kind that'll bring you back." I should shut it down, but the way he looks at me, like I'm still worth fighting for, hooks me. "Midnight," I say. "Don't be late." The bar clears out, leaving only the hum of the neon sign. I find Theo outside, leaning against a lamppost, the quarter's glow painting him in crimson and sapphire. He leads me through the labyrinth of streets, past staggering tourists and saxophone wails, to a crumbling building hidden in a courtyard. The faded sign reads Blue Crescent Jazz Club. "What's this?" I ask, my voice sharp. He pries a board loose, revealing a dark gap. A relic from the 40s. Shut down after Katrina. Found at scouting gigs. I hesitate, the shadows inside swallowing the light. "We're breaking in?" His grin widens. "We're claiming it. One night, Cora, let's steal something for us." My pulse races, but I follow, drawn by the fire in his eyes. Inside, the air's thick with dust and memory, smelling of whiskey and old wood. Moonlight filters through shattered windows, catching a stage cloaked in shadows. A piano stands center, its keys worn but proud. Theo brushes them, drawing a soft, haunting note. "This place is still singing," he murmurs. I wander, my boots kicking up dust, and spot a metal box under the bar. I pry it open, finding a bundle of letters, their paper fragile, inked in a woman's elegant hand. Signed Evelyn, 1947. I read aloud, my voice unsteady. Asterisk, I sing for him, but he'll never know. My heart's a sin I can't confess. Asterisk. Theo turns, his eyes meeting mine, heavy with understanding. "She was caged, like you." I nod, Evelyn's words slicing through me. Raw, desperate, too close to my own. That night shifts everything. Theo convinces me to keep coming back, to make the club our secret. After my shifts, we slip inside, sweeping the stage, polishing the bar, coaxing life into the ruins. Theo plays, his music a thread weaving us together. Sometimes slow and mournful, sometimes wild and free. I read Evelyn's letters, each one a confession of a love she couldn't claim, a saxophonist bound to another. Her words stir something dangerous in me, a hunger I've buried since Silas. Theo feels it too. I catch it in the way his eyes linger when I laugh, the way his hand brushes mine when we share a candle's flame. Our nights in the club become a ritual, a space where Silas's letters can't touch me, where I'm not just a barmaid, but a woman alive, desired. But there's a line we're skirting, a heat in the silences, the too long glances. I know it's a risk, know I should stop. But the pull of him, of us, is stronger than my fear. One humid night, Theo plays a sultry, aching melody, the notes curling around us like smoke. I sit beside him on the piano bench, our thighs brushing, the air electric. "You're different here," he says, his fingers pausing, his voice low. like you're remembering who you are. I meet his gaze, my heart pounding. You're the one reminding me. His hand lifts, hovering near my face, his thumb grazing the air near my cheek. The space between us shrinks, the world fading to just his eyes, his breath. For a moment, I think we might cross that line, let the current take us. But I pull back, my voice breaking. We can't, Theo. He nods, his jaw tight, but his eyes don't waver. I know, he says, soft but resolute. But I'm not losing you. Not to this place, not to him. The letters anchor us, a puzzle to solve. Evelyn's words hint at a secret, a gift she left for her lover, something to break her chains. We search the club, tapping walls, prying boards. One night, Theo finds a loose panel behind the stage. Inside is a velvet pouch, heavy with a silver cigarette case, etched with a crescent moon. A note's tucked inside. Asterisk, sell this run. I couldn't. You can. E. Asterisk, my breath catches. It's not just a trinket, it's a lifeline. Theo's eyes spark. This is our shot, Cora. I grip the case, Evelyn's defiance sinking into me. She didn't escape, but we might. The next day, we take it to an antique dealer in the quarter. He examines it, whistling. Solid silver, 1940s, $1,500, maybe more at auction. My heart leaps. It's enough to change things. Theo nudges me, grinning. Evelyn's got our back. Back in the club, we map it out. The money's a deposit on a new life. Baton Rouge, maybe, or Memphis. Theo's gigs are steady. I could cut shifts, pick up my old camera, chase the photography I loved before Silas burned it out of me. The club becomes our headquarters, walls pinned with plans, budgets, dreams. Evelyn's letters sit on the bar, our talisman. But Silas's letters keep coming, each one darker. One arrives with a photo of me leaving the bar, snapped from a distance. My stomach twists, he's here, watching. Theo finds me trembling, the letter crushed in my fist. He's not getting near you, he growls, his hand on my shoulder, steadying me. We're leaving soon. I nod, clinging to his fire. We push harder. Theo takes extra gigs, I sell some old jewelry, we pool every cent. The club's our haven, but it's also a gamble. If Silas tracks me here, if he finds this place, weeks blur, our nights in the club a fevered mix of planning and music. Theo's presence is a constant, his laugh, his touch, the way he watches me when he thinks I don't notice. We're careful, always stopping short of the edge, but the tension hums between us, a chord that won't resolve. One night, as rain lashes the windows, he plays a melody that feels like a confession, raw and unguarded. I sit on the stage, Evelyn's letters in my lap, her words blurring with mine. You're not her, Theo says, his voice cutting through the notes. You're stronger. I look at him, my throat tight. Only because of you. He steps closer, his hand brushing mine, and the air crackles. I want to lean in, to let go, but I pull back, my heart racing. We're almost there, he says, sensing my fear. We're getting out. The danger grows. Silas's letters turn explicit. He knows I'm planning something, says he'll find me. One night, I catch a glimpse of a man outside the club, his silhouette too familiar. My blood runs cold. Theo sees my face, grabs my arm. We're done waiting, he says. We sell the case for $1,800, more than we hoped. With Theo's savings and my scraps, we've got $2,500. Enough for a fresh start. We book an apartment in Baton Rouge, a tiny place by the river, and set a date. 1 week. The final night in the club is alive, electric. Theo plans a private show, just us, a goodbye to the Blue Crescent. He plays a song that feels like our story, tangled, fierce, hopeful. I sit on the stage, the letters beside me, candlelight dancing across the walls. When he finishes, he turns, his eyes burning. We're free, Cora, he says. No more cages. I nod, tears stinging, not from pain, but from the weight of it all. He steps closer, and for a heartbeat, I think we might break every rule we've set. But he just takes my hand, his grip fierce, grounding. Let's go, he whispers. We leave at dawn, New Orleans fading in the rearview as we head north. The Baton Rouge apartment is small, creaky floors, a view of the Mississippi, a corner for Theo's keyboard. We unpack our treasures. Evelyn's letters, the empty pouch, a candle from the club. That first night, we sit on the floor, jazz humming from a radio. Theo plays a soft chord, his smile unguarded. This is ours, he says. I nod, tears falling, not from fear, but from freedom. Evelyn's story ended in silence. Ours starts with a song. I look at Theo, my son, my savior, my partner in this escape, and know we've rewritten the melody. The river sings outside, endless and alive, and for the first time in years, I'm ready to join it. The Mississippi hums outside our Baton Rouge apartment, its current steady and relentless, like a song that never stops. It's been a week since we left New Orleans, since we slipped out of the French Quarter's neon grip and landed here. 2 rooms, wood floors scuffed from someone else's life, a window that catches the river's glint. Theo's keyboard sits in the corner, a battered sentinel. Evelyn's letters rest on a shelf, their edges curling like secrets too heavy to lie flat. I thought moving would cut the cords, Silas's letters, the weight of the bar, the ghosts of who I used to be. But freedom's not that simple. It's a fragile thing, and I'm learning it can crack under the slightest pressure. Theo's different here, lighter. He's up early, brewing coffee that fills the place with its bitter warmth, playing soft chords that drift through the walls. He's got a gig lined up at a local jazz joint, a step up from the quarters dives. I watch him from the kitchen, my hands wrapped around a chipped mug, and feel something I haven't in years. Hope, sharp and unfamiliar. But it's tangled with something else, something that's followed us from the blue crescent. The way his eyes linger when he thinks I'm not looking, the way his hand brushes mine when he passes me a plate, it's the same current we danced around in the club, electric and unspoken. I tell myself it's nothing, just the residue of our escape, but my pulse betrays me every time he's close. Cora, you're staring, he says one morning, catching me mid-thought. His grin's half-teasing, half-knowing, his gray-green eyes glinting in the sunlight. I flush, turning to the sink. Just thinking, I mutter. About what? He steps closer, leaning against the counter, his arm brushing mine. The air shifts, heavy with that familiar tension. About how we got here, I say, dodging. About what's next. He nods, but his gaze doesn't waver. Next is you living again, not just surviving. His voice is low, serious, and it stirs something deep, a longing I've tried to bury. I should pull away, reset the boundaries, but I don't. Instead, I meet his eyes. I'm trying, Theo. He smiles, soft but fierce. Good. I'm not letting you stop. We're building something new, slowly, carefully. I've cut my bar shifts to part-time, picking up a camera again, snapping shots of the river, the cypress trees, the way dusk paints the city gold. Theo's music is taking root. He's writing a piece inspired by Evelyn, a haunting melody that feels like her letters set to sound. We spend evenings on the apartment's tiny balcony, the river's song mingling with his keyboard, Evelyn's words open between us. Her stories become our map, her courage our fuel. But Silas's shadow looms. A letter arrived yesterday, forwarded from the bar. Same jagged handwriting, same venom. Asterisk, you can't run forever, Cora. I'll find you. Asterisk, I hid it in a drawer. But Theo saw my face, saw the way my hands shook. He's nothing, he said, his voice steel. He's not touching us. I want to believe him, but fear's a stubborn stain. One night, as rain drums the roof, Theo pulls the letters from the shelf. There's more to Evelyn's story, he says, spreading them out. She mentions a second gift. Something else she hid. I frown, scanning the pages. He's right. Buried in her looping script is a line. Asterisk, the crescent holds the first, the heart holds the rest. Asterisk, my pulse quickens. The cigarette case was the crescent, I say. What's the heart? Theo's eyes spark. The club. It's gotta be there. I hesitate, the thought of returning to New Orleans twisting my gut. Silas is there, maybe watching. But Evelyn's pull is stronger, and Theo's certainty is a fire I can't resist. One trip, I say. In and out. He nods, his hand squeezing mine, warm and sure. Together. We drive back under a moonless sky, the city's glow creeping up like a fever. The blue crescent is unchanged, boards loose, shadows deep. We slip inside, the air heavy with dust and memory. Theo lights a candle, its flame dancing across the stage. We search, methodical but urgent, tapping walls, prying panels. Hours pass, my nerves fraying with every creak. Then I find it, a heart-shaped locket, tucked in a hollow under the bar. It's silver-tarnished but intricate. Inside is a tiny key and a note. Asterisk, for the one who dares. Open the vault. Live. E. Asterisk, Theo's breath catches. A vault. We scour the club, desperation rising, until Theo spots a rusted trapdoor beneath the stage. The key fits, the lock groaning open to reveal a small metal box. Inside, a stack of old bonds, brittle but stamped with value, $5,000, maybe more if they're still good. My heart races. This could change everything, I whisper. Theo grins, but his eyes are sharp. It already has. We pocket the bonds, the locket, the note, and start to leave, then freeze. Footsteps crunch outside, heavy and deliberate. My blood runs cold. Silas, I breathe. Theo grabs my hand, pulling me behind the bar. The door creaks, a shadow filling the frame. It's him, Silas, his face gaunt, eyes wild. Cora, he calls, voice slurred but venomous. I know you're here. Theo's grip tightens, his whisper fierce. Stay low. I've got this. I shake my head, panic rising, but he's already moving, silent as a cat, grabbing a broken bottle from the floor. Silas stumbles closer, kicking debris, his flashlight cutting through the dark. You thought you could run, he snarls. My heart hammers, but Theo's calm, his eyes locked on mine, a silent promise. He motions for me to slip toward the back exit. I hesitate, but his nod is firm. I creep along the wall, every sound deafening, as Theo circles behind Silas. Then, a crash. Theo lunges, knocking the flashlight from Silas's hand, the bottle raised. Get out, Theo growls, his voice a blade. Silas laughs, unsteady, but swings. Theo dodges, shoving him into the bar. I reach the exit, my hand on the door, but I can't leave him. I grab a loose board, rushing back, and swing it at Silas's legs. He stumbles, cursing, and Theo tackles him, pinning him down. "Go, Cora," he shouts. I hesitate, then run. Not away, but to the stage, grabbing the old mic stand. I swing it, catching Silas's shoulder. He roars, but Theo's faster, binding his wrists with a cord from the curtains. We drag him outside, leaving him slumped in the courtyard, the rain washing his curses away. Theo calls the cops from a burner phone, anonymous, reporting a trespasser. We don't wait for sirens. We grab the box, the letters, and bolt, the club fading behind us. Back in Baton Rouge, we collapse in the apartment, breathless, alive. The bonds are real, worth $7,000 after appraisal. It's enough for a new start, a real one. Theo's gigs grow. I'm shooting photos for a local paper, my camera a lifeline. The locket sits on my dresser, a reminder of Evelyn's dare. One night, Theo plays her song, the notes soaring, free. I sit beside him, our shoulders touching, the river humming outside. We did it, I say, my voice soft. He turns, his eyes warm, deep. We're not done. The air shifts, that old current sparking, but we don't cross it. We don't need to. Our bond, tangled, fierce, unspoken, is enough. Evelyn's heart led us here, to a life we stole back. I lean against him, the music wrapping us, and for the first time, I'm not afraid of the melody tomorrow might bring. The Baton Rouge apartment feels like a fragile dream, its wood floors creaking under our steps, the Mississippi's hum a constant lullaby. 2 weeks since we fled New Orleans, leaving Silas tied in the Blue Crescent's courtyard, his curses drowned by rain. I thought that night severed his hold, but fear lingers like damp in the walls. Theo's my shield, his presence a fire that keeps the dark at bay. He's busier now, his jazz gigs multiplying, his keyboard singing late into the night. I'm shooting photos for a local paper, my camera a tether to the woman I was before Silas. But the locket from Evelyn's vault sits on my dresser, its silver heart glinting, a reminder of what we've won, and what we could lose. Tonight, Theo's at the kitchen table, sketching chord progressions, his hair falling into his eyes. I watch him, coffee cooling in my hands, and feel that familiar pull, his gaze, his quiet strength, the way his fingers pause when he catches me looking. "You're staring again, Cora," he says, his grin soft but knowing. I flush, turning away, just thinking. He leans back, his eyes sharp. About what? The air thickens, charged with the unspoken. About how we're still running, I admit. His smile fades. Not for long. Silas is done. We're free. I want to believe him, but a new letter arrived today, slipped under the door. Asterisk, you can't hide, Cora. Not from me. Asterisk, I haven't told Theo yet, but the paper burns in my pocket. He senses my unease, standing to cross the room. His hand grazes my shoulder, warm, steady. Whatever it is, we face it together, he says, his voice low, fierce. The space between us hums, that dangerous current we've danced around since the club. I should step back, but his touch anchors me. Theo, I whisper, my resolve fraying. He doesn't move, his eyes locked on mine, and for a heartbeat, I think we might cross the line we've sworn to hold. But a knock shatters the moment, a sharp rap at the door. We freeze. Stay here, Theo says, grabbing a knife from the counter. My heart pounds as he creeps to the door, peering through the peephole. It's a kid, he mutters, relaxing slightly. The boy, maybe 15, hands Theo a note and bolts. Theo unfolds it, his face darkening. It's from him, he says, passing it to me. Silas's scrawl. Asterisk, found you. Blue Crescent, midnight. Come alone, or I burn it down. Asterisk, panic claws my chest. He knows, I whisper. Theo's jaw tightens. He's bluffing. But we end this, tonight. I shake my head, fear surging. He's dangerous, Theo. He grabs my hands, his grip fierce. So are we. He doesn't get to win. We drive back to New Orleans, the night thick with dread. The Blue Crescent looms, its boards like teeth in the moonlight. Inside, Silas waits, his silhouette sharp against the stage. Cora, he sneers, a lighter flickering in his hand. Theo steps forward, his voice ice. You're done, Silas. I clutch Evelyn's locket, her courage steadying me. This ends now, for her, for us.